Before you proceed with this video, I advise that you get your English language note and a pen. Keep them handy as you will be required to respond to evaluation questions in the course of this video lesson. In this video, I'm teaching you nouns. Nouns are names. You can also describe nouns as naming words. Essentially, nouns name persons, animals, places, things. There are different kinds of nouns depending on the criteria for classification. Some grammarians classify nouns generally, while some decide to classify nouns basically into proper nouns and common nouns. I'll go with this classification of nouns into proper nouns and common nouns. A common noun names any person, place, thing, or idea. Common nouns are general names. They are not capitalized, except, of course, when they begin a sentence. Proper nouns, on the other hand, name particular persons, places, or things. Proper nouns require initial capitalization regardless of where they occur in a sentence. Types of common nouns: countable noun, uncountable noun, concrete noun, abstract noun, collective noun, material noun, mass noun, possessive noun, compound noun, and invariable noun. Please note that you may not find these classifications in a single document on English grammar or a single reference on English grammar, but I decided to give you this compilation in this lesson. At this point, I want you to answer this question. List the types of common noun. Please write the answer down in your English language note. You may pause the video now and answer the question. Okay. Now that you are through with the activity, let's continue. Countable nouns are things that can be counted. A countable noun can be singular or plural. For example, 1 apple, 2 apples. On your screen are examples of countable nouns. Uncountable nouns are things you can't count. Normally, you can't put an article in front of an uncountable noun. Remember, the fact that uncountable nouns cannot be counted doesn't mean that we cannot count them using units of measurement. We can say a piece of furniture. We can say a carton of milk. So when we use such units of measurement to count uncountable nouns, such units of measurement are called partitives. Uncountable nouns are also called non-count nouns. Concrete nouns. A concrete noun is something you can touch, hear, smell, see, or taste. In other words, a concrete noun is something that you can experience with any of your 5 senses. Unlike concrete nouns, abstract nouns are things that we can't see or touch. However, we can feel them or experience them. For example, friendship, love, hatred. These are examples of abstract nouns. You have more examples of abstract nouns, such as advantage, adventure, anger, annoyance, bravery, charity, sadness, worry. If you look at your screen, you will discover that some of the examples of abstract nouns can also act as verbs. That means they have verb forms. For example, delay. Delay can be a noun, it can be a verb. Can you spot any other one? Shock. Yes, you're correct. Shock is an abstract noun and can also act as a verb. Trust. Yes, you're right. Trust can also act as a verb. There are others. There are others. For example, let me help you point out another one. Hurt. Hurt can act as either a noun or a verb. So some abstract nouns also act as verbs. Yes, you're right. Defeat is another example. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. We're going to look at collective nouns. A collective noun is a noun that names a group of people, animals, or things. For example, a team of ducks, a bunch of keys, a bunch of grapes, a litter of kittens. You have more examples of collective nouns on screens, such as a piece of jewelry, a pile of money, a drop of rain, and others. Next, we look at material nouns. A material noun is a substance, a material, or an ingredient we can see and touch, which is used for making things. In other words, a material noun describes the material or substance from which something is made. For example, paper, wood, glass, rubber, gold, silver, and what have you. We also have mass nouns. This classification has to do with things that cannot be counted. They are nouns that do not have plural equivalents. They can be quantified by the use of counters or units of measurement. Remember, I told you earlier that such units of measurement were called partitives. It is by using partitives that we can pluralize mass nouns. You have examples on your screen such as a piece of paper, a strand of hair. So the mass nouns there are hair, paper, soup, tea. Now, if you look at the examples on your screen, you will notice that some of these mass nouns are actually material nouns and uncountable nouns. Did you notice that? Okay. You see, a mass noun names things that can't be counted. Usually mass nouns are in the singular, but we can use partitives to count them. Many abstract nouns are uncountable. That means many abstract nouns are actually mass nouns. I hope you understand that relationship. You see, not all uncountable nouns are abstract. So that means some uncountable nouns are mass nouns, but they are not abstract nouns. Remember that mass nouns are different from count nouns. Count nouns are not mass nouns. So essentially, uncountable nouns and abstract nouns and material nouns are mass nouns. All right? Okay, let's move on. Look at possessive nouns. A possessive noun shows possession. Example, the boats are Chrissy's surprise. So essentially, possessive noun ends with an apostrophe and s, or just an apostrophe alone. These are examples of possessive noun: parrot's eye, parrot's wing, parrot's leg. Now I'm going to talk to you about compound nouns. A compound noun is a single noun comprised of, comprised of two or more words. Look at the example on your screen. Seafood. Seafood comprises sea and food. Ice cream comprises ice and cream. Classmate comprises class and mate. Mother-in-law comprises mother, in, and law. If you look at the examples on your screen, you'll discover that there are three types of compound nouns. Those that are written with spaces, that means not hyphenated and having space. Those written without space, that means written as single word. And those written with hyphens, that means those that are hyphenated. So essentially, compound nouns can be joined, separated, or hyphenated. These are more examples of compound nouns that you have on your screen. Let me talk to you now about invariable nouns. You may not find this classification in some grammar textbooks. Invariable nouns are uncountable and proper nouns. The reason why they are described as invariable nouns is that they have only one form. This means that I'll use examples to make this clearer. Let me use the word trousers. The word trousers has only one form. It doesn't have the form trouser. There's no such word as trouser. The word is trousers. But how then do you indicate the singular and the plural form of that word? You use a measure of counting, a partitive. You say a pair of trousers to indicate one, but two pairs of trousers to indicate two. But when you say trousers without a unit of measurement, the implication is that you are making reference to plural. So that means you are referring to more than one pair of trousers. Other types of variable nouns are proper collective nouns like people, cattle, police. While there are some nouns derived by means of the suffix x, things like thanks, goods, congratulations, remains, mathematics. Then there are also places, proper nouns, that name places and they end with s. For example, Niagara Falls. Another type of variable noun is when an adjective is nominalized. So we have examples like the blind, the disabled. So this substantive use of an adjective is an example of variable noun. So we have plural invariable nouns and singular invariable nouns. Plural invariable nouns take plural verbs, while singular invariable nouns take singular verbs. Look at the examples on your screen. At this juncture, I want you to answer this question in your English language note. Explain the types of common noun with examples. You may pause the video to allow you respond to this exercise before you move on. Welcome back. I believe you have answered, or rather responded to the exercise I gave you earlier. In the next segment of this lesson, I'll teach you the grammatical functions of a noun. A noun can act as the subject of a verb. For example, Peter kicked the ball. Peter is the subject of the verb kicked. A noun can also act as the object of a verb. Phoebe slapped Leonard. Leonard is the object of the verb slapped. Nouns also act as appositives. So a noun can act as an appositive, it can be in apposition to another noun. The Universal Champion, Reigns, defeated Cena at SummerSlam. Let me take time to explain to you that an appositive is a noun that explains another noun that it comes after. So Reigns is an appositive and it refers to the Universal Champion, and the Universal Champion refers to Reigns, and they are just opposed kind of without any intervening word. So when two nouns are in these grammatical slots, they are said to be in apposition. Nouns can act as object complements. An object complement gives us more information about the object or complements the object. Americans elected Biden president. Biden is the object and president is the complement of the object Biden. A noun can act as a complement of the subject. Carl is Superman. Superman is the complement of the subject Carl. Subject of complement is a complement that refers back to the subject. So this noun, Superman, is referring back to Carl, and there is an intervening word there, a verb. So a subject is usually linked to its complement by a linking verb. In this case, the linking verb is the verb is. A noun can act as the object of a preposition. The object of a preposition is that noun that comes after the preposition. Apollo Crews is from Nigeria. Nigeria is the noun here that is the object of the preposition from. So the preposition from is followed by the noun Nigeria. That makes Nigeria the object of the preposition from. A noun can act as a direct address or vocative. Thank you, doctor. Doctor here is the noun acting as a vocative or direct address. If you notice, the word doctor here started with a capital letter. That means vocatives are supposed to start with capital letters. Now answer this question in your English language note. State the grammatical functions of nouns with examples. I thank you so much for watching, especially for answering the evaluation questions in your English language notes. I expect you to submit your response to me in class so I can assess what you have written. Till I see you in class, keep working hard because hard work pays.